My name is E. I like to study divine mysteries and discover answers to the secrets of life and death. Above all, I seek the truth in all things. In my younger years, I was a fool. I ran from God and disobeyed Him in every possible way. I was curious about the mysteries of the world and wanted to know the secrets of good and evil. I set out to become worldly in all my ways. I experimented with drugs, alcohol, sex, and magic. I saw war, death, hopeless addiction, and prison. I encountered the supernatural and paranormal. I battled life, threatening sickness and disease. I was humiliated and ostracized to the point of suicide. I was gang-stalked and harassed by shadowy agents, both government and occult. Yet through all of my pain and suffering, God did not give up on me, and eventually my heart turned toward the light. I realized I could live my life the easy way or the hard way, but that either way I went, I was the Lord's own creation, and my life belonged to Him. On my hero's journey, I set out to find Satan and found God. It is important to live a spiritual life. Each day I pray, meditate, and give blessings from the center of my soul, the sanctum sanctorum. Each day is a holy ritual in the ceremony of my one precious life. Having had a moment of supernatural clarity, I began the arduous task of cleaning my temple while looking for answers. I sacrificed all my vices to God as burnt offerings in the imperishable fires of my heart. Nothing worthwhile in heaven or on earth is gained without making of some sacrifice. It therefore follows that we can readily judge the tree by its fruits. We can judge the possibility or the power of good in a man by what he is willing to suffer, willing to sacrifice, in order to obtain the thing he desires. That is the law. And all the hierarchies of the spaces are arrayed with the man who says, I will, and who will do in spite of what comes. For the hierarchic powers are ever with the man who promises to do and who does as he promises. This is the law. God is a patient, impelling force which ultimately draws all of creation in alignment with His will. Life is a manifestation of a more primal force expressed in higher realms. Light is a reflection of life, lawfully manifested, and good is the lawful expression of all life. Each of us have corrections to make, issues we need to repair, so that the light in our soul can fully shine through. Little by little, we correct ourselves, and our intention to receive light is gradually reversed into an intention to give light instead. As believers, we are guided towards conformity with the higher realms by God's irresistible love. There is always a way to redemption. There is always a way out. Once we turn our attention away from ourselves, then we can change our estate in life. But we must live for our higher purpose. In order to make death an easier transition, it is best to give up all material attachments and bodily habits beforehand. While we are living in this earthly plane, we are at once building conditions in succeeding realms. Death is a gradual process, and throughout our earthly life, we grow from life in material realms to life in spiritual dimensions. Each night, our body rests in what we call sleep. Our soul departs to the astral plane and prepares for the transition it is moving towards. For every effect, there is a cause, and for those things which affect our own life, we are the cause. We cannot hide our own death from ourselves. When we have reached that condition where remaining incarnate no longer holds further promise of growth, God in His mercy has willed that we be set free. It is vitally important that we release as much of our material fixation as possible before we move on to the spirit realm. Obsession changes to the earth, makes us earthbound, and creates revenants. This is why it is so important to live a spiritual life so as to minimize our earthly attachments. Until next time.